Let's welcome now sports analyst and media expert Eric Mitchell. Eric, it's always great to see you. I know you're a 49ers fan yourself. So what was your immediate reaction to seeing this?
That's disgusting. The fact that that's Niner fan versus Niner fan, I'm not saying you should be fighting at a football game, but usually you'll see it's the rival team. That's Niner on Niner. That's just not how I grew up watching the 49ers at Candlestick Park. I'm old school Niner fan. That's not, I don't know. I want to blame the generations of this behavior. This younger crowd came in. They seem to have a chip on their shoulder, like they own the team, like they have a vested interest, and they're not on the field. So they're very angry. I don't know. It's very weird. It's disturbing to see. I mean, that's not where I want to take my wife or my kids to a game to have to see that kind of violence.
Well, it certainly is disturbing because it's typically such a fun, lighthearted family atmosphere. What do you see, Eric, as the solution here? More security at games, stricter stadium rules? How do you see it?
It's not going to be popular what I'm going to say, but we need to cut back the time that they serve alcohol. It needs to be cut back. Alcohol is the number one. People become liquid courage, right? You drink out in the parking lot for pregame. You come into the stadium. The game was going in the Niners' way, so I don't understand what this was going on. Same with that unfortunate event that took place at the Patriots game. It's just alcohol comes into play and people start swinging and just committing acts of violence for, I again, don't understand it. You're not on the team. Yes, you can wear the jersey. I don't understand what you're so angry about. And that's what the problem is here. Security, it could get there, but it's hard to cover a gigantic football stadium. And I have a good friend of mine who's retired Arlington PD here in Dallas who used to cover the Cowboys game. And he's like, look, there's a jail at the bottom of AT&T Stadium, and there's a line to process people when the Eagles and Giants are in town. And it's an every weekend occurrence. I mean, fighting happens at games, and they always say it leads to alcohol is the number one root cause.
Well, you know what? That is unsurprising, unfortunately, and I could certainly understand how that would be a major factor. You know, alcohol has been served for years, and it does seem like we're seeing more and more of these incidents happening post-COVID. Do you think there is something that's feeding into this that goes beyond those beverages being served?
I've looked into it. I love that question because it's one of those things that's like, why don't I see that when I go to an NBA basketball game or to a Rangers game? I don't see people fighting. And I've been to Raider games and sat in the black hole. You don't see any of this behavior, but you see this at just random stadiums where people are just fighting. I don't know if it's a younger generation. They seem very angry. I don't know if gambling has to do with it. I don't know, because people can bet on sports. Somebody says something. I just don't know. It's like this almost like respect level when you walk in the stadium, like you almost have to behave yourself in a different way. Like you better say the right thing or do something. And people just get really defensive about it. Like you can't have your own opinion. I mean, we do live in America where freedom of speech is one of those cool things that we have. So you think go into a fun family atmosphere. Let me leave you with this. You're paying a fortune to go to these NFL games. Why are you trying to get into a fight buying $25 beers? I don't understand. I want to watch the football game because it's already an arm and a leg to be there. Besides the $50 you spend in parking, I don't know what you're doing trying to get yourself arrested, because that just costs even more money.
Well, I think that's a really excellent point, and you're trying to also unwind, I would imagine, as well. Yeah. So we've got a quick few seconds left. You and I spoke right as the season was starting. You had some high hopes for a lot of teams. How are those predictions panning out so far?
I've been right. I'm pretty proud of my pick so far. My Niners are doing great, so I'm not going to complain there. The Chiefs came back from their injuries. They look great. The Jets, unfortunately, this Monday Night Football, they're calling it the curse of Monday Night Football. The last 4 games have had major injuries, starting with Murray from the Cardinals. Then you had DeMar Hamlin's injury. And then you had, of course, the Jets injury, which I think we're still talking about. And then you had this last weekend, you had Chubb's injury on Monday night. So it's interesting. We have 2 more Monday night games. I don't know. The season's going exactly the way I thought it would. I still think the teams that I predicted are going to do good. It's just interesting to see all the changes going on and, all the drama in Chicago with the Bears. And just, I think the Bears are always the drama queens of the league right now, just because I don't know why the Bears are so messed up, but they're figuring it out. So.
Well, I'll stay neutral on it, but we did notice that a lot of your predictions were correct. So, Eric Mitchell, thank you so much for highlighting that and for being here.
Thank you.
And up next.